Week 13. Achieving spontaneous right action. Thoughts are the basis of all your actions. Before you act, there is a thought, however brief. Sometimes you give a great deal of thought before you act. You think of all the alternatives, weigh the options, and try to predict results. At other times, you act even before the thought is recognized. Nevertheless, all thought leads to action or affects some aspect of your action in some way. This is the corollary of what this course has been emphasizing, that all thought leads to some experience. The key, therefore, to the most productive, fulfilling, and enjoyable activity is to have the correct thoughts. No one can argue with that. Everyone wants correct thoughts, and everyone strives for correct action. With all this striving and good intentions, why, then, do we see so much evil action, so much unhappiness, so much unfulfillment, and so much wasted motion? By now, you know the answer. It is simply because people are making up their own fantasies. They manufacture their own thoughts instead of allowing themselves to be in tune with that one great thought that created us. When you are in tune with God's thought, then all the thoughts that bubble into your head are correct. That is, they are thoughts that propel you into action that can only give the experience of happiness, abundance, success, joy, love, and God's other qualities. Only the qualities of God are experienced with God's thought. You don't always experience God's quality when you make up your own thoughts, which you are very capable of doing. You imagine what is not true, such as being poor, or being sick, or being wronged by someone, or being unloved. These thoughts are simply not true, and no amount of your thinking can change that. Creation was made for you to experience God's quality. Your little independent thought can certainly manifest the experience those thoughts represent. Think of poverty and you will experience it. Think sickness and you will experience it. Think of growing old to die and you will experience it. Think you are not loved and that is your experience. Think of unhappiness and that is your experience. Think people are out to hurt you and that is your experience. It is your experience, but that doesn't mean it is the truth. It is only your experience. Your experience must follow what you think. You are made in the image of God. He is a creator, and so are you, then a creator. His creation began with his thought. Your creation also begins with your thought. This week, you expand your experience of manifesting what you truly want. You begin to experience that you can spontaneously do correct activity. It will seem that you won't even think before acting, but we know that can't be true. What happens is that you think of action just before doing it. That way, thought and action appear as one. This is how it works when you are truly in tune with God's thought. His thought bubbles into your mind, and quite spontaneously you act. Pretty soon, life just flows easily. You don't have to conjure. weigh alternatives, debate options, and then blindly leap. You just act. When you use your own little thoughts, you blindly leap. There is no way you can know enough facts in your head to work out the right action every time. Sometimes you might luck out, but never always. There are too many unknowns. However, remember that you have a quality of God described as all knowing intelligence. That quality comes forth when you are in tune with His thought. Then you instantly compute the right course of action. In the same instant, you think of the action and perform it quite automatically. Right action is that action which gives you the experience of God qualities: happiness, love, joy, bliss, abundance, non judgment, unboundedness, all knowing intelligence, peace, energy, gentleness, etc. It is this right action that leads you away from your imaginations. It leads you away from fear, insecurity, and loneliness, and toward abundance and true contributions to society. It is an action that is fulfilling and successful and satisfying. Look at the list of experiences you want to have that you wrote out several weeks ago. Compare that list once again with the list you made of thoughts that are holding you away from those experiences. This week, you are going to put those lists together and start to manifest your true desires. Today, write out a creating formula for guidance in achieving spontaneous correct action. Use your quiet period to ask help from your higher self with this formula. Check your communication and the correctness of the formula with your yes and no signals. This is a very important creating formula. Feel comfortable with it. Say it meaningfully and with love every day. Tomorrow, you are to pick up an activity to create from your list of experiences you want. Pick an experience that seems attainable, one you do believe can happen. Everything is possible, and that you will very soon realize. For this first experience, however, it is important that your own doubts, fears, and imaginations don't block the manifestation. So pick something that is believable. Next, use a quiet period to check and make sure that the activity you choose is in your highest interest. You do this by asking your higher self if it is wise to ask a question about. If you get a yes, then ask, is it in my highest and wisest interest to describe the activity? If you receive a yes signal, then write out a creating formula for the experience you want. Check with your higher self for any thoughts you need to deal with that could interfere with the experience. Also use your yes and no signal to check the correctness of your creating formula. Remember, you are still learning these techniques. Do not try to leap too fast. Just do these two creating formulas. Feel comfortable and grounded in using them. Before long, you will be using them regularly as the basis of your thoughts to bring whatever experience you and your higher self know is in your highest and wisest interest. Thank you.